Hello and welcome to the Leila Vaha Show. Today we have a very interesting guest. His name is Nathan Sapsford and he's an MTV host. So Nathan, how are you today?
I am fabulous. How are you? You look fabulous.
Thank you.
Excellent. It's a beautiful dress.
Great. Now can you cut to the
Cut to the chase.
Yes. Can you tell me about hosting MTV?
I sure can. I hosted on MTV back when they had hosts. I don't think they have them anymore.
Yes.
I don't think they have music anymore either.
Yeah. They don't.
Yeah. I know, it's a bit of a shame really. So so it was a lot of fun. I hosted a lot of shows on MTV and I did a lot of live television. And I was one of the hosts of TRL, Total Request Live, which that is dead too. now. And it used to happen in Times Square in the US. And then actually, one of my co-hosts, Lindsay Rodriguez, was one of the last hosts on TRL US.
Okay.
She hosted with Carson Daly and all those guys. But it was a lot of fun, interview famous people like this. Just kidding, I'm not famous anymore. So it was a lot of fun. Yeah.
Yeah. Now I researched you a little bit before the interview.
Every presenter needs to do that.
Yes.
It's good.
Not right before the interview, of course. But
No. Days before.
Days before, yes.
Yes.
And it said, what came up is that you're an actor. What movies have you played in?
I've done about 6 indie features, and most recently I did some TV. You know that show, The Last Ship?
Yeah.
I was on that. I was like a British commando running around with an AK-47.
Was that fun?
Yes. That was a lot of fun, and I got to be a badass and say sort of bad things.
Nice.
And in like a Cockney accent, like, what's he doing here? Put your hands up, you Wally, stuff like that. So it was good, and then I got to play like an outlaw from the 1890s, Bill Doolin. That was super fun. Shot in Santa Fe, New Mexico. So that's my most recent stuff.
Cool. Now you've interviewed a lot of celebrities like Miley Cyrus and Katy Perry. Katy Perry, can you tell me a little bit about them?
Yeah, Katy Perry, she's she's a piece of work. She's a sassy one.
In what way?
She's got a sense of humor, and she's and kind of boisterous. You can just tell what she'd be like. She would, you get to know when people are kind of just giving you the record company spiel, and they're not really gonna, sort of get into anything else, but there was just something about her. She was really cool. I mean, she's beautiful, and sort of had some attitude, she kind of study you. She'd be like this, you'd be asking questions and doing your thing, and then she'd be like looking at it, and I'm like, what are you looking at?
She's observant?
Like, yeah, she's very, very, very intelligent.
That's a side I've never seen.
Yeah,
So I always thought she was like very mysterious and
she keeps
quiet.
that. Yeah, well, the mystery comes, I think, with that intelligence, and people can kind of, let on that they know more than they're going to say, and then they'll give you answers which don't really answer the question but suggest something else,
Yeah.
That kind of makes things fun. And Miley was like that too. She was only like 16 at the time. It was the end of Hannah Montana when she first started kind of being a star, and she was another one who was, I couldn't believe how quick she was.
Oh.
Totally ripping into her dad. I was like talking about the mullet, and she was like all over it. It was hilarious. And
was she sassy as well?
She was sassy too, but in a different way. Katy Perry was like a full-grown woman then.
Yeah.
Miley Cyrus was still
She seemed very grown up and very mature, like from the outside, but.
Who's that?
Katy Perry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. My friend actually produced her first 2 records, and after the first record, which was, I forget which songs were on it, big pop hit, and then she actually wanted to go like an acoustic, or she wanted to go like a different route, and he was like, just one more pop record for me, just one more for me, and she was like, all right. She did one more, Firework, I think was on that, bam, Katy Perry got Today.
How was Miley Cyrus to interview? Like, was she sassy?
Yeah, she was a little sassy. She was fun. She was with Hollywood Records at the time, which is Disney, so they're all, want to keep everything very, you can't ask this, you can't ask that. I think she'd just done that sort of cover of Vanity Fair where she was like naked or whatever. It's like, you
Yeah.
cannot ask about that. I was like, well, I don't want to ask about that. That'd be
So
weird.
she's very particular in what she wants.
Well, that was the record company, and the thing you can't ask about the file. I just did ask them what I could ask, and so they were kind of ready to pounce the whole time. And she was like, yeah, cool, whatever. Like, she was super cool.
She's chill?
She chill.
Yeah.
She was super chill.
From the performance of the VMAs and, like, all of her concerts, she seems, like, very, like, sassy, loud,
Yeah.
like, confident. I mean, she's very unpredictable. Like, you can never tell, like, what she's going to dress in, what her performance is going to look like. She's not boring at all, like.
Is that the kind of thing you dig?
Yes.
You want to be kept guessing, right?
Yeah, but is that how she is in the interviews? Is what I'm asking.
Well, I think she had such a busy schedule. Maybe she was tired or whatever. But I think, you got to mellow out at some point. You can't be that thing. You can't be that hyped all the time. You'll explode. So I kind of like it when people sometimes people are really withdrawn and they're all like, don't want to answer any questions, and they're kind of deliberately difficult. Or,
I don't like people who are like that to me. I like people who are, yes, professional, but like have sort of a personality. Like they're fun, they're happy, like they're ready for the interview.
Yeah, well, you're very good. You see, you listen and you ask questions.
Thank you.
A lot of people don't do that. I watch other people interview the same people I was interviewing.
Yeah.
And I'd see them just be all like, hi, and it would not bounce and be very like, wouldn't take on anything that they said, and then the artists then turn on them, and then start to just rip into them, and then they can't respond, because that's, if you're doing interviews for 12 hours a day, you get bored, so you then start just turning it on the other people. Like the Beastie Boys would do that, but then if you give it back to them, then they're like, oh, we can bounce off this guy. All right, let's have some fun.
So how was it like to host the MTV Awards? What'd you have to do specifically?
We did the red carpet, and then I think Snoop did that year. He hosted the awards. He was very late.
Wow.
Yeah, he showed up super late.
How many hours or minutes?
Well, I mean, it was a live show. It was like,
Yeah.
we're going to have to go on and do it without him.
So how'd you guys fix that?
He showed up like literally just 5 seconds after it started. Like, showed up in an Escalade in the back, the doors open. You can imagine. I can't say it's children's stuff, but
Making his appearance.
he certainly made his presence known.
I'm sure he did.
He's a cool cat. So yeah, we would do. I think I presented an award that year. I present a couple of awards at the Nickelodeon Kids' Choice.
Yeah.
It was good. I won a blimp one year.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
What year?
Oh, like 1840, so long ago, none of you guys will know. I don't know, 10 years ago, something like that, maybe 8 years ago.
I thought it'd be like more recent, though.
No, I've been here for 7 years. I've been acting.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so I want to get back to your acting career.
Okay.
What was your favorite movie to film in?
My favorite.
Yes.
My first one was pretty good. I starred in that.
What was it called?
It's called Key. It was
Cool.
super heavy material.
Tell me about like the plot of this.
Well, it was pretty heavy. It was like my wife had been murdered.
Wow.
Prior to the whole thing, I played a pathologist, and I find a key inside this guy's stomach, and then it kind of sends me insane, and I keep seeing my...
That's an interesting
my wife.
plot.
Yeah. So that was, I mean, it was like, I guess, M-rated, That, and one I did with the USC guys, that was fun. I played like a Vogue photographer.
That's so cool.
Yeah, so I had to be really mean for that. I was very mean, and I got to practice, take a lot of photos, so, it's always fun when you can do something to get into a role,
Mm-hmm. What does it take to be a good actor, in your opinion?
I don't know. There seems a lot of ways to do it, but I think you've got to have the humility to be able to, you really got to be confident in your own ability, and then enough to then be taken by the story.
Yeah.
So if I watch a performance, I just want to see that someone's in it and wants to. They're in it. They're giving themselves. They're like, it costs them something.
Yeah.
There's some blood on the floor, is what I like to call it at the end of the scene. If it looks like someone's phoning it in, you know what I mean? Someone's like kind of just I'm gonna go back to my trailer in a second and eat a burger. You know, they're kind of not really there. Then that's the only thing I don't like.
Yeah. Tell me about your first experience with acting.
Oh my
Yeah, like-
first experience is
Like
that's
who you first auditioned with, first role.
I was in some little funny TV show in Australia,
Tell me about that.
procedural. You know, it was kind of like a Chicago Fire kind of thing, but I was a guy caught in a lift shaft with my hand mangled.
How old were you?
I don't know. I was probably like 22 or 23 or something when I did that.
That's nice.
So yeah, I got into all this late. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what I want to focus on next is back to the people that you interviewed. What was the craziest, weirdest person you've ever interviewed? Basically, one that you'll never forget.
yeah, there's a few I would never forget. Who was crazy? Noel Gallagher from Oasis. Do you know who that is?
No.
Who would be one that you might know? I'll tell you one that was pretty fun. Did you ever hear A Simple Plan? Like when emo was a thing?
Oh yeah.
It was this emo band, and I interviewed them
Nice.
in Tokyo.
Oh, in Tokyo.
Yeah, and we were the last one afterwards. So they were all like, "Come party." So we went to a karaoke bar, and then we busted in on some group of crazy businessmen doing karaoke in a room. We went in and did it with them. They pulled up their song, and then the guy had to sing his own song in their room, and then evidently you get to a point in Japan where you're so excited there's nothing else to do but just take your pants off. You're not very underpants. I mean, you know, there's just
Yeah.
I can't be wearing my business pants anymore, and that's what happens. It was hilarious, and they were like, "Why don't you take your pants off?" We're like, "No, we like to keep ours on." So there's a lot of fun in interviewing because you get flown around and get to do stuff like that.
Are you still in contact with them?
I used to be. They came out and did the awards, and they'd come to Sydney and I would hang out. I don't know what happened to that band.
Yeah.
I mean, like Alicia Keys in London. That was some fun. She's super sassy.
Oh, she is.
Yeah, I know you like the sassy ones. I'll try and think
Yes.
of the sassy ones.
I like all different types of interviews. Just tell me anything, you know?
You know,
Any
Chris Martin
experiences.
from Coldplay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's a guy. He doesn't really tell you the full story.
Yeah, I can see that,
Yeah,
definitely.
you're like, come on, man. You know, let's all have some fun. And he kind of, he was. I mean, it was cool. At the time, they were superstars.
Yeah.
And I interviewed them in LA, so I was like, hey,
It's so
I'm
cool.
happy to do that.
Now, you told me before the interview how you've had your own shows, 6 of them.
Something like maybe 8. I don't know.
Oh, wow. Tell me about that.
But having a bunch of different shows.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I was lucky. At MTV, we had 6 at the time, and kind of running at one time. Some of them were travel shows, so I got to travel. I created my own show, like you did.
Yeah.
Where I'd spend a lot of time with someone, but we'd go around where, do you know who the Veronicas are?
No.
Wow. It's probably only a few years, yeah, it's
Yeah.
just caught in the gaps. They were in LA and some guy like Ben Lee, this guy in Bondi Beach. I
Yeah.
try to take them to a place that was like their home. We do things with him, we had fish and chips on the beach in one place.
Nice.
Went to a bookstore cafe to somewhere else they would go, and then, went to went bowling because he liked to bowl, So it was fun. You get to kind of do whatever you want.
Tell me about traveling for interviews. I know you said you traveled all the way to Tokyo for the emo band.
Yep.
Tell me about that.
To me, it's the most fun, and especially Tokyo is so wild,
Yeah.
and you get there and everything's completely different. Nothing.
I know, yeah.
Have you been?
No, but I've seen I've watched YouTube videos of people traveling all the way to Tokyo, and it's the food's different, not in a bad way, but
Yeah.
it's just not something you've seen before.
Well, totally. You go to the restroom and you look at the toilet and you're like, what the hell's that? and then there's buttons, and the thing it's completely electric. It'll clean itself. The seat thing goes around. Things spray. It's
What?
it's chaos. It's like every little thing you do is kind of like going to Six Flags.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
What are some other countries that you've traveled to?
I went to the UK a bunch. I came to the States.
Was that crazy too?
Yeah, I'm English blood, so it's always fun going there because I got a lot of friends there. So yeah, like the music festivals. You know, I went to Fuji Rock in Japan.
Cool.
Yeah, that was wild. Yeah, that was 100,000 people.
So now I want to focus on your acting career.
Okay.
What was the craziest movie that you've ever been in?
Crazy how? What kind of crazy do you like?
Just like crazy in a way that it's just so unique. Like how you said Tokyo was crazy with the toilets and the culture.
Well, I tell you one thing that was pretty nuts. This outlaw thing I did, they kind of didn't have enough staff, and so I came off a horse at like, I don't know, 30 miles an hour.
A horse?
Because I was like an outlaw, so I like riding horses and shooting guns.
That's interesting.
And then you're getting taught how to shoot guns, like these old school cowboy guns and things like that. So I mean that was a whole experience, talking in an Arkansas accent all day, and hats and really when you get to dress up, it's like being a kid.
Yeah.
I get to be a cowboy. You kidding me? So that's the funnest thing I can think of late, for sure.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Now back to MTV. What was it like behind the scenes?
We had a great crew, kind of like all these guys over here.
I mean, was it like rushed or calm or?
Oh man! I mean, before the start of a live show, it's madness. It's sheer madness. Everyone's running around. Guests.
What kind of madness?
Well, because it's live. It's an hour. Someone's late. It's like you got to pad time. Things go wrong. Technical stuff. Mm. And then as the host, you're very lucky because you have a floor manager who looks after you and keeps you calm, and everyone back there is freaking out. So you'd have like 40, 50 people. You'd have 10 people in the control room.
Yeah.
You got a bunch of people talking to you in your ear, and but it's adrenaline like nothing else.
I know about that.
You know about that?
Yes.
You got someone talking to you right now?
Yeah.
What's God saying to you right now? Keep going. So yeah, and then all the codes like stretch. They ever say that to you?
Yeah, no, actually.
Stretch can be hard sometimes. You're about to go, and right now we're gonna check out the new clip from Katy Perry, and it's called, and you're about to go, and then that's it, and they'll go stretch, and you're like, but okay, isn't you sung by Katy Perry? But I quite like this song.
They're like stalling,
You gotta stall for some reason because there's a problem. And so you're like, yeah, and Katy Perry, how about that? And you start talking to the host, and they're hearing the other host, and they're like going, yeah, and you're like, yeah, how about that new video she was in? Really dig that dress. She looks so crazy. Who's she going out with these days? You keep adding, and then they'll eventually go, they'll go wind it up.
Oh.
And then you throw to a song.
Yeah.
It's wild.
What makes it so crazy, like behind the scenes, how everyone's late and just stuff happens?
Yeah, you kind of want it. If everything goes to plan, it's kind of gets a little dull, So one time we had John Legend come.
Wow.
Yeah, he came with a full band. Like his backup singers all sang for Lauryn Hill.
That's cool.
And it was like 12 of them. And I was a huge fan, and I sort of worked hard to get him on the show because he just started. Came to Australia, I'm like, we are doing John Legend. They performed, and like in the commercial breaks, they just play, and I just be kicking back.
John Legend.
Yeah, just kick back and just watch them play.
That's cool.
It was heaven.
Yeah, I bet you like that because it's not so rushed as before, and I used to MTV being it's just. Yeah.
Well, they'd be trying to get them to shut up because they want to do their thing, and I was just like, no one is telling John Legend to shut up. We're just going to work around him.
You're like the boss of everything.
Well, no, not then. I was like, come on, how good is this? And they were like, you know what, actually, yeah, let's just roll with this.
Yeah. Okay, so another question about MTV.
Yeah.
What were like the celebrities and the guests like?
On the show?
Yeah.
Well, you get to do fun things.
I meant their speeches.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well,
what were some of your that you'll never forget?
I remember talking about the police with Ice-T.
The police?
Well, you know, because Ice-T, he was a gangster rapper, and
Oh yeah.
and I kind of was talking about all the bad things he might have done in his past,
Wow.
and he wouldn't really talk about it, but then he'd kind of allude to, oh yeah, there was some stuff, you know, and that was pretty fun because everyone was like, whoa, and the record company were like, he's not going to say anything, is he? and he didn't in the end, but we got close.
Yeah.
He was about to say, well, no, I better not. So, you know, stuff like that.
That's cool. Now, when you were working in MTV, what was like? Did you get like dressing rooms and stuff? And
Yeah, dressing rooms.
what kind of stuff did you get?
Oh, we got to keep everything. Well,
Keep everything?
not everything.
Oh,
I still got stuff in my wardrobe from MTV.
that's cool. What
Hell
kind
yeah.
of things?
I go, you know, this jacket, I'm not giving it back.
This jacket right now?
No, not this one.
Oh,
But another one, I go, I love this leather jacket, and I'm not giving it back. And they go, yeah, you can probably keep that one.
I see you have a very big ego. You're like, I'm not giving it back. No, I refuse.
Well, I'm like, I'm pretty good. Like, the girls are worse. The girls are like, oh, I'm going to keep this, keep that. And we weren't supposed to, but they were like, we have an allowance. So you'd have an allowance, and they go, all right, you haven't taken anything for a while. We'll cover the leather jacket.
Cool.
Don't make me out to be a prima donna now.
What other types of things do they give you?
Well, you get a lot of free stuff, but
Ooh, like what?
the free stuff, it wasn't always good. It was like, you know, well, here's a whole bunch of Skechers stuff. Like, you can wear Skechers.
That's it?
You know what I mean? Or like whatever. Like sometimes you get cool. Sometimes it was great. Like there'd be all limited edition Adidas stuff.
That's cool.
Limited edition Puma. Like I've got these. I just pulled them out the other day. These Yo MTV Rap Puma re-releases from like 1990. It's like.
How much stuff have you been taking from the set?
Well, some of it you get given. The
Yeah.
taking stuff, you know, that would be like, you know, I just probably take. I probably got like probably got 5 jackets, probably 8 pairs of jeans, bunch of t-shirts.
So because you hosted the MTV Awards, you can just go up there and just take some stuff?
Yeah,
Sure.
you know, some guy's wearing a jacket. I just go, I'm having that jacket. Take it off, buddy. No, can't do that. No, you get given stuff. It's what happens.
Oh.
America invented that.
Yeah.
Like gifting suites. You heard about gifting suites over here? I mean, when America, I mean, oh, God bless America.
Oh, yes.
You like say before the I came here for the movie awards once,
Yeah.
and that was fun. I interviewed a bunch of actors. The Notebook had just happened, so it was Ryan Gosling and Rachel McAdams. So that was fun. But then they were going. The gifting suite was right next to us, and it was like, wow, now that's a whole new level. You walk in. These days, they didn't even go to the gifting suites. It all just goes to their hotel room. PlayStations, phones, cars, jackets, dresses. I mean, just thousands of dollars worth of stuff.
Yeah.
If you're one of those people, you just walk into your hotel room and go, I'll take that. And then just give the rest to your family and friends.
Have you ever been to an Oscar?
Never went to the Oscars.
Never even won one?
Never won an Oscar?
Yeah, or just anything. Like for acting or...
No, I
movies
won.
or-
Oh, I won some little award for acting. But the best thing I won was the blimp, Nickelodeon blimp. You
Yeah.
know? John Cena, is that his name? No, or Sarah.
John Cena!
Like that big.
Yeah!
Yeah, he gave it to me.
That's so cool!
Yeah. And I gave one to, Zac Efron.
Cool.
That's right. He was a cool guy. He was a nice guy.
He seems cool.
Yeah.
Does it get all the bitches?
Oh, you can say that? You can say, okay. I think Zac Efron does pretty well in the bitch department. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of dogs.
He's a heartthrob right now. Like if you ask any girl, they're like, "Oh my God, Zac Efron," you know.
Yeah.
Like he's got the abs. They'll say, and "Oh my God."
Yeah. He's only a little. He's a shorty.
Huge. He's short.
Oh yeah. They're all short.
How short? Like.
It's like here on me.
That's seriously.
Yeah. They're all nil.
It's insane, like where people like go from, because he was just like a little boy in like High School Musical, you know, and
Got some
everyone knew
sweet
High School
abs.
Musical. Now he's like a heartthrob and every girl's dream.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, even if you're a little guy, you can still have rad abs. You know, that's possible.
Yes.
Yes.
So to be a heartthrob, you're saying you just have to have abs and muscles.
Just abs, right?
Just abs. No talent. Just abs.
Yeah, just work on those abs. Forget acting class. Hit the gym. He knows what I'm talking about. Batman over there.
I bet he does.
Yeah.
So, back to MTV. What specifically goes on like before the show?
Okay. We have a production meeting.
Yeah.
We did TRL. We didn't do it every day. We do it once a week.
Yeah.
Oh no. And we did it a few times a week. We did it like 5 times a week.
What's the schedule like?
You come in, you get a coffee, you have a production meeting, work out who you're interviewing, and then you get given like a sort of a rough script, and then I'd go and rewrite it, and I'd sit outside with another coffee and kind of rewrite gags, do my research for a couple hours. Then leading up to the show, you go down the wardrobe, work out what you're gonna wear, and sort of girls always take a lot longer, so they got to get their hair and makeup done.
Yes.
You know, and so it's one of the cool things about being a guy.
Yeah.
You go in, bang, 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 you're done. And yeah, and then the closer it gets to it, then you start. Maybe you'll shoot something which gets, or like you're planning a gag.
Yeah.
It's gonna work out. Like we had a boy band guy come on, Nick Lachey. I don't know if you remember him.
Cool.
And he, you know, and like I got him to show me how to do the boy band, the old school boy band, like, you know, when you have you know, they do the reach and the grab.
Yeah.
You know, like with the fan blowing, you know, there's a giant fan in their shirts all like billowing and they're all,
Oh
like,
yeah, I've
know,
seen
like-
that before, and like their hair is all like
right, the
going
hair's
in,
all
yeah.
going back like this, and I was like, show me how to do the reach, and so we were like,
How every girl sees Zac Efron.
right, exactly.
Yeah.
When you go to sleep, you close your eyes. Do you see Zac Efron going?
Yes.
And just grabbing your heart and ripping it
Yes.
in? See?
Sure. All the time.
He learned that from watching my show. In your dream.
Yeah. So tell me about Zac. Like, what kind of a guy is he?
Hey, he's a super nice guy. He's a friend of a friend. I've gone out with him once or twice here. He's just a nice guy, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. He gets to do some fun stuff.
So lastly, tell me about your most famous movie that you've been in. A movie that's like, you know, become the most popular and
Well,
famous.
one I did. I mean, I don't know if it's been released yet, but it was really fun. It was with a girl, Sophie Lowe. It's Aussie. It was shot in the States. It was like a desert movie. I mean, it's a bit more, you know, adult. So I haven't done anything movie-wise. Probably no, not yet. Nothing that you guys would know about. But The Last Ship's probably the biggest show I've done.
So Nathan, I'm sorry, but we have to end the show because we're run out of time.
Don't know how I feel about that. But all good things must pass.
Sorry.
It's been my absolute pleasure. Thank you. Good luck with the show. She's
Thank
very
you.
good.
Can you shake
Very
hands?
We sure
Thank
can.
you.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure having you. And thank you for watching. This was the Leila Vaha Show. See you next time. Bye.
Well done.
Thank you.
You're a natural.
That's your phone.
Thank you. My earpiece fell off. Like right when I was turning.
Right. No one rat whose phone it was.
Man,
Don't run.
Huh?
Nobody run.
No rat. He was gonna come in here. He's
Oh,
gonna come with his whip.
my earpiece like literally.
alright, we're cleared.
That's okay. That happens.
Yeah, like
That's
I was
the
like I
beauty
didn't know
of
because I was
live
like
television.
right turning and I was like, oh my god. Then it like fell out, but oh my god.
I started watching the last
I
year.
think we can get off
It was
now.
on. It was the one where they were, when
Wait,
they walked into the forest.
when-
and,
When my earpiece like fell out, could you like see it like
He will.
oh?
I would get out of
Because I
here.
thought it would like look like
It's
this.
the beauty of
Yeah.